Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Cafe Enchante, and we're picking up where we left off, which was going to the gate room, where Il told us to go, because he said he heard Mizer, but that was suspicious, and it wasn't even him, because it was Solitus pretending, so Mizer's probably not here. Anyway, I entered the gate room as Il urged me to, but... Huh? Inside the room, it's just the gate standing alone by itself. There's nobody here? I looked around and behind it, but there's no sign of anyone. I checked the plate in the end, but it's still unchanged, set to closed. Could Il have been half asleep? Now that I think about it, Il hasn't slept for several days to guard me. Maybe his fatigue finally showed itself today. In that case, next time Candace or Ignis comes back, we should let him rest. I gotta sneeze. That came out of nowhere, sorry. Thinking this, I go to leave the room. Gotta sneeze again. They came out of nowhere! There's a sound at my back. When I wonder what it is, and turn around towards the gate, as though flung, the plate flips over to open. What? Then, the doorbell drops its light tone in the dimly lit room. But it's not really Mizer. It's not really him, though! We know it's not! Oh, no! Anyway. Finally. I've finally met you. Mizer... What came leaping out from it was the man I've been waiting to see. The hands he extends. I'm captured in his arms without any time to be surprised. Then, as though being embraced, I'm pulled in by him to the other side of the gate. Oh, shit. Yeah, Mizer wouldn't do that to us. This is Mystery Man. It's Mystery Mizer. Now we at Chapter 4, although we absolutely could have just done that in the last part. I knew that was going to happen. I was thinking it as I finished the other part. I was like, it's probably going to be like 2 fucking minutes. But... And there was a part of me that was like, watch, it's like the end of Chapter 3. I should know by now. Anyway. The first thing I felt was wind up my cheek. Parched, dry air that stings my throat with each breath. The peculiar rough wind shakes me awake. I slowly open my eyes. When I get up, what I saw in my field of vision is... changing shape with each stroke of the wind, an ashy land stretching far into the horizon. This place is... I get a sense of deja vu. The ground where I lay collapsed until now. When I slowly opened my hand that had been touching it, ash-colored sand... No... ash? What was in my palm blows away in the wind, indistinguishable from the other ash. I recognize this world, and this ash stretching over the surface. Those 2 words in my still heavy head tell me of one possibility. Could this place be... Spacey! Cutting through this lonely world is a voice filled with joy. When I turned towards it... Oh, look, he's embracing us again! We get that same CG, but it's not really him, I don't think. I was embraced in someone's body. An embrace from right in front that reminds me of a certain encounter one day, because it's pretty much the same CG. The sensation of this chest and arms wrapping my body remains in my memory, but the strength behind it was greater back then. I sense a strong will of never wanting to let me go. Ugh. I still love it, though! They literally just changed the background, but it's the exact same fucking CG. But still. It's a little suffocating, so I raise my head and... Really? Is it really you? Mizer? As I thought, the one embracing me was the one who promised to return to Enchante. Mizer, who has returned to his usual form. Oh, he's so beautiful. I missed you so much. I don't even care if it's not really you. It looks like you. That's all I care about right now. I just want to look at you while we figure out it's not you. Maybe this is really you, but the person who dragged us in was... I don't know. Look, it doesn't matter. I just want to look at your beautiful face. Still embracing me, he places his eyes right on me. I'm glad. I'm so glad. If you'd never woken up again, I wouldn't know what to do. I wanted to see you. I was waiting for you all this time. Enough to nearly faint. For so long. So long. What should we talk about first? There's so much I want to talk to you about. Like, why did you bring me here? Still embracing me. He doesn't stop talking. Mizer? Of course, I'm very happy to see you too, but this is a little painful. Could you relax your grip a little? Oh, sorry. I still don't know how to control this strength. It really actually sounds, especially the way he's talking is so excitable, it really sounds like Mystery Guy. That's what I'm going with. Mizer apologizes and reluctantly lets go of my body. With a little distance, I finally have room to look over his body. But if you're here, that means this place is... Yeah, this is my world. Were you surprised to be pulled in? I was happy to see you and couldn't help it. Like the first time we met, sometimes you act purely on emotion, don't you, Mizer? Mizer, what about that form? If I recall, Mizer would return to his true form when he's in his world, right? I really wanted to see you, so I worked really hard at it. I wouldn't suddenly turn you to ash, he says with a smile. I see. Yeah, I'm happy too! Would be if it was really Mizer, but I don't think it is, so this makes sense. Did you push yourself? Mizer? Are you pushing yourself? Pushing myself? Well, a noise outside like I heard a kettle. We talked about it before. I thought it was really hard to restrain your power. Keeping that form in this world, I thought you might be pushing yourself. I'm a little worried. He looks... Look at him! He looks so angry at us. Mizer? Yeah, I'm fine. That's right, I'm fine. I wouldn't feel anything like pain and suffering. Still... Seems like he was too happy and pulled me in here before he even entered Enchante, but still... It's been a while seeing each other face to face like this. That's right. It felt like thousands of years to me. That's a really long time. As though interrupting our conversation, the ashen wind grazes my skin. Upon seeing it, Mizer makes a troubled frown, but he quickly regains his mood. Because that's the real Mizer. Somehow controlling... He doesn't have a corporeal form, right? Because he's now what the mystery guy was. The mystery guy took his body, and now he's just there, like, somehow... You know what I'm saying? Like, they swapped. And that's why he's pissed at. Don't touch her! Alright then, now that you're here, should I give you a formal introduction? Welcome to my world. It's... something. Mizer spreads both hands and introduces the wasteland he lives in. And this is my... the real world where Mizer Rex lives. It originally didn't have any name, but it's been called this. The World of End Times. World of End Times! The real other world that Mizer lives in. Wastelands of ash extend endlessly, and there are no signs of life in this world. It sounds pleasant. The world of end times? That has a really sad sound to it. But it's all a wasteland. It's composed of only ash. I'm sure no matter how far I walked, there wouldn't be any things of nature or buildings like in other worlds. How depressing. As the name suggests, it's as though all of civilization has gone to ruin. Mizer's like, you're welcome, I did that. This place that's met its end is the world Mizer's lived in this whole time. However, Mizer himself doesn't seem to mind. In fact, Yeah, I think Mizer does. This is a Mizer. He's just mystery. And now then, how about I guide my wonderful guests around the world? There are places I want you to see. Like that lump of waste and, ash. So you mean like that bit of ash? And how about that bit of ash over there? Oh, what's over there? Is it more ash? In fact, he seems to be happy from the bottom of his heart that he brought me here. Definitely not Mizer. Nah, look, we love Mizer and all. And I love looking at his beautiful face, but it's not him. Now, Spacey, would you give me your hand? Huh? He gently extends a hand to me. As I'm a little confused about why he extended it to me, Mizer suddenly smiles. Well, it should be unthinkable. I wouldn't want you to get lost. It'd be safer to hold hands. Would you not like holding my hand? Oh, hold on. This is where we have to save for our bad ending. A bad ending. We should already have one for Mizer. Way the fuck down here, I'm guessing? Ooh, no. Oh, you know what? That's probably the one that we chose. Okay. I don't mind it, but yeah, I feel like I don't mind or I'm happy sounds bad because it's not really Mizer. I don't mind, but I don't think you're Mizer. Yeah. I don't mind it, but I'm a little surprised. You know, you explained before, right? That you have that ashen power? I'm sure it's fine because you're in your usual form now, but that just happened in the demon world, so, Mizer, I thought you might have been concerned about getting near me or other people. That's what it seemed like. That was our last choice. Holy shit, there's no choices in Chapter 5 or 6. Shit. So for you to offer your hand to me, it's just a little surprising. Not at all. Touching you, I wouldn't feel worried about that. Really? He declares it without hesitation, and I'm a little taken aback. Yeah, right? Did our reunion before blow away all of his hesitation? But, Mizer, I'm thankful you want to guide me around this world, but is it okay we don't return to Enchante? When I ask, Mizer blinks his eyes in surprise. Why? Huh? He tilts his head like his heart's confused. Why do you mean, why? You know, that night, you promised to come back to Enchante. That... You came here, so there's no need to take the trouble to go there. What's important is that you and I can touch, right? What is this? Considering Mizer's words and attitude, something feels very out of place. I told you it's not really him! We already saw, I'll take that body from you! We already kind of knew, but... When I try to think about what it is, I can't quite put it into words. More importantly, let's hurry. Take my hand. Touch me, Spacey. Spacey. Without waiting for my response, he forcefully grabs my hand. Well. Why? Really, why? He stops cold at my question. Why, when you speak of Enchante, why is it as though it's only a second thought? Back then... You're not really Mizer, are you? I'll tell you everything about me and this world. And the next time I ring the bell in Enchante, I won't hide anything from you or that little counter of yours where you always made me feel like I belong. Aww. You said it so longingly, so earnestly. You wanted to come to Enchante. You wanted to sit at the counter. You wanted to see me at Enchante. That's what you said, and yet... That's right. This is what felt so out of place. More than anyone, Mizer cherished the days he spent at Enchante. Oops, no, whoops, okay. I accidentally hit the thing for auto. Okay, we didn't skip anything. To abandon a reunion at that shop and take the trouble of bringing me into his own world by force. How can I put it? Right now you seem like a different person. I saw this with such a confusion in my voice. I say this with such confusion in my voice. Not I saw this. I love his bitch face. I mean, I'm sorry. He was giving us like, I'll fucking kill you. Okay. I love your resting bitch face. Glorious bastard. The expression drops from Mizer's face. It's not an expression I've ever seen in him. There's no mistaking it. Why would you say such a terrible thing? I like how it's Mizer question mark now. He stomps in the ash toward me. I am Mizer, you understand? I am who you wanted, who you've been longing for. Mizer Rex. Just look. My face, my voice, my body. Every part of me is the same, isn't it? Not your heart and your soul! Don't run away. Come to me. A chill runs up my back. Heeding the warning of the shiver, I turn my back to the unknown young man and begin to run as fast as I can. This person, it's not Mizer. Oh, maybe come to me was Mizer, supposedly. Because, you know, before, when it was mysterious person, mysterious man was always that voice in the nothingness. And now Mizer's the voice in the nothingness, I guess. I don't know. Confident of this terrible fact, I escape without any destination in mind. Find the fucking door. We should be right by it. Why don't we go back in the door? Where's the door? With no destination, I simply run through an endless wasteland. To escape from that, someone who had taken Mizer's form. I thought the gate would be somewhere nearby, but it seems I was carried very far during the time I was unconscious. Oh, that makes sense. I was like, the door should be right there, and then, okay, I follow you. And I can find no trace of it. Yeah, this is gonna be hard. It's not like you can be like, okay, so I already passed this pile of ash? Or is it that pile of ash? I run and I run, but the scenery just repeats itself. The rough ash slips beneath my fatigued legs. It's like running in sand, I imagine. You know how hard walking in sand is, unless it's like packed, like when you're just walking at the, not like by the water's edge on a beach, where it's like hard packed. You're walking in like the sand to get to the, you're like, oh my god, it's so fucking hard. It is so hard. Ugh. I nearly tumble over with force, but I manage to control it. However, I need to run faster. That young man will catch up otherwise. Driven by impatience, I try to take the next step. Huh? Huh? What is this? Why am I bleeding out of my mouth? Murky blood drips from my mouth. The red color melts into the ash. The moment it enters my sight, I'm suddenly assaulted by suffocation. No, it's more than that. It hurts. My hands shake. My vision blurs. Blood and oxygen. I feel everything in my body as if it's hurting me from the inside. You've been breathing in ash. I mean, can't imagine that's good for you. I can't endure it. This abnormality, this agony happening in my own body. I collapse to my knees in an ashen land. Behind me, I hear... Oh, we get a CG with not Mizer dude. There, I caught you. Oh, interesting. A body with no warmth engulfs me. Oh, hello. I mean, he's kind of pretty too, not gonna lie. The body is no longer Mizer's. It was the young man beyond the fissure. You're... The first time I went to another world, when I passed through the gate to Medio, a voice calling to me from somewhere. So it was him, okay. So was he the one with the hand coming? Because... And when I was thrown out into Amasaki Island, whatever the... What drew me into the gate, a mysterious voice. Buzzing. You're like a bee! Thinking back to that harsh noise, hidden behind it, a voice. Don't tell me that voice. It was... With it whispered in my ear like this, I finally realized. Right, that's right. All of it was my voice. As I thought, you could hear it. For all this time, I wanted to speak with you like this. So much that I could faint. I've waited for you, and I've wanted you. And for so long, there was never a time when I didn't think of you. This is weird. Have we met? 'Cause... The young man embraces my body, entirely stricken with pain, with even more force. Finally, I can finally touch you. I can finally talk to you. Again, how does he know us? Have we met? I mean, he's pretty, don't get me wrong. But, like, are you gonna take Mizer's place? Like, no. I'm glad. It was well worth my persistence in reaching my hand for you. Because his hands look normal, not like Mizer's, but this man, what is he talking about? As he breathes sighs of joy over me, my body is in pain and my vision blurs. A feeling of nausea rises. Just as I cough up blood yet again. Get away from Spacey! Purple lightning approaches the young man. During the slight moment when the young man's eyes go wide, I put all my strength into my arms and shove his body away from mine. Using that force, I turn to where the lightning came from. Oh. All that fills my vision is ash, but in a small gap I see a dark figure. This time, on that night. Spacey! The one who promised to ring the Enchante doorbell was there. Mizer! My breathing pains me, and as I collapse to my knees, he rushes to me and catches me just in time. Oh! There's our Prince Charming! But the face of my support, Mizer, is twisted in fatigue and anguish. Why are you here? I'd really like to know that, but for now we need to hurry. Are you going to return to the human world? I mean, like, he's like a ghostly Mizer, like, he's just all, like, he's ashen like the world. Like he's made of fucking ash, too. You can't do that. I won't ever allow it. Mizer and the young man. Perhaps because this is their first time meeting face to face, Mizer looks shocked when he sees his face. His face is like almost your face. What a surprise. You really do have the same face as me. I mean, they kinda do. That's why he's pretty. If you hate that body so much, why not give it to me, Mizer? Your power and form, I took it all back then, or so I thought. You still maintain that form even while weak? You have the strength to perform magic? I'm only confident in my tenacity. Although, I can thank you stealing my power for that. As you see, I'm not returning to the strange form even in this world. I can only call that ironic. Twinsies? Mizer holds me up like he's shielding me and glares intensely at the young man. While watching the man's state to run at any moment, he slowly backs away. Who are you? You interfered with me in the demon world. No other being should exist here aside from me. They couldn't, and you stole my power just by touching me. That's quite a ridiculous feat. Who exactly are you? It's about time we find out his name. It's been 5 chapters. We're in chapter 4, never mind. Still, 4 chapters. Mizer asks questions to try to create an opening, and the man... Sorry. Just... He must really think this is hilarious. Ah, that's rich. You, of all people, ask me that. None other than you. For all this time, you... For so long, you've known me since the distant past. To you, I'm your only friend from the homeland. Mizer's like, huh? The homeland? The moment he hears those words, Mizer's face goes stiff. However, he uses the young man's opening. Spacey, try your very best to hold on, to not fall. Mizer, prioritizing the escape, holds on to me and runs at full speed. The young man doesn't rush and intently sees us off, without moving a step from that spot, simply smiling. As Mizer walks while holding me. Gah! Much like me, fresh blood also spills from his mouth. I try to call out to him, but my lungs hurt like they're burning. My blood torments me like it's poison. Mizer desperately protects me with the robe he's wearing. Mizer. Between my hoarse breaths, I try to call his name. Don't talk. A voice mixed with worry prevents me. I don't have time to go into detail. The atmosphere in this world harms the body. Exposed to it for too long and you'll die. I can carry you in this form, so just a little longer until we reach the gate. As if to mock his determination, smoke rises from the ash in front of us and... Spartoe? I figured it was a product of this world, but why now of all times? Well, you said there was nothing else alive in this world, and there's these things. The ones from before, the menace we saw on Amasaki Island. They swarm us all at once. Okay, so mysterious man that Mizer doesn't know has some kind of control over this world because he's making this shit happen. Come on. The usual Mizer could crush all of them with a single glare, but... As he is right now, he can only smash the approaching Spartoe one by one, as he doesn't seem able to fly. Spartoe, too. A non-human that appeared on Amasaki Island. A skeleton made out of ash from the world of end times, where Mizer lives. Oh, that's true. They did turn to ash afterward, right? When they were crushed. And he was like, Oh, yeah, right. Still, while avoiding the Spartoe, he continues running through the wasteland. Did he lose the Spartoe? Or did they let us go? Despite them disappearing from sight. Mizer's steps grow more and more dull. Hoarse breaths begin to wheeze from his throat. Oh, this is so sad. Why you give us sad, CG? And I don't like. No likey. It becomes injury, and with blood dripping down. Spacey, hold on. Just a little more. We're almost at the gate. Using his own body as a shield, he strongly embraces me. Mizer simply repeats in desperation. It's okay. And don't worry. I'll get you back to Enchante. Each time the storm blows fiercely, Mizer holds me a little bit tighter. Mizer... He says that, but I don't know if those Spartoe or that young man will catch up. Mizer, if you carry me, you'll... If you go by yourself... Do you want me to abandon you? That's no joking matter. In my thinning consciousness, I try to call to him once more, but in this world that was empty until now, I realize that a small change has occurred. As far as I can see, there are small hills at regular intervals. What are those? We don't have the time to chat, I know that, but to maintain my consciousness, I instinctively ask Mizer. Those are grave markers. What? Unfortunately, they lost their way and came to this world, and they died here. I'm from among them, the only survivor. I was once like you. I was a human in the human world. Mizer walks on, speaking in a hoarse voice. He talks about his life, about a history long ago. I say that, but it's hazy to me too. I don't remember much about that time. The only things carved into my brain are memories barely remaining as knowledge. It goes back tens of thousands of years. Right. It's an era known to human descendants now as Genesis. Genesis refers to the distantly ancient era when Mizer was born, possessing advanced technology. In the Bible of the human world, this era is told of as the time of creation and the birth of humanity. I'm sure to people now, people have the idea of stone tools and humans living as hunter-gatherers. Oh wow. In reality, it was nothing like that. The human world at the time had far more advanced technology than the modern day. Magic and science, all techniques were fused to extreme limits, creating an advanced civilization. In such an era, I was born as an ordinary human. However, by the time I reached adult age, I left my homeland, the human world. At the time, the human world knew of worlds outside our own. We'd observed the existence of them. Oh my god, this is the Ark. I was just like, so you're talking about the Ark? And then he's like, we knew about worlds outside our own. I'm like, this is the Ark that was in the heavenly world. His people went to... Okay. Mm-hmm. Because remember in, like, wow, I like it's tying it all together. Nice one. Okay. Because when we went to Ill's world, they're like, oh, there was that Ark. And that's because humans came one time, like, right? And we're like, okay. We'd observed the existence of them, so it was fucking Mizer's people. Interesting. All technology at the time was utilized to cross the boundary between worlds and develop means to move into them. And the result of that was called an Ark, a vehicle that could travel to other worlds. Ark refers to the rectangular ship appearing in the Bible of the human world. In this game, it means ships used by humanity to travel to other worlds in the era of Genesis. I was chosen as a human to ride an Ark in search of new lands and other worlds. Why did we seek other worlds? Why did we need to leave the human world? And the reason... I don't remember it anymore. For the journey loaded into the Ark was a door, a gate that connects time-space to connect that world to the human world. Gate, too. A door of space-time loaded into an Ark connecting other worlds to the human world. And that's how the... that's how Ill, the heavenly world, why they have a gate. Likely if another world suitable for inhabitation was found, humans planned to use the gate to move to that new world. The gates that existed in other worlds included the one in Enchante. Oh, including the ones in Enchante were probably left for that purpose. However, among the many Arks that departed, the Ark I was riding, it suffered the worst luck. Oh, okay, so maybe he wasn't in that Ark, but one of the Arks went to the heavenly world. Okay. We were swallowed by a wave in space. Much like being cast away, what we reached was this hellhole. The world I reached was this world we call the world of end times. Appropriate to its name, this world bestows an ending upon all who visit. It's kind of a sucky world. The atmosphere of this world isn't something the human body endures very well. On the first day we arrived, about half the crew I came with died. After realizing the abnormality, we tried to flee, but there was nothing we could do. Naturally, I was no exception. The ash that enters the body stabs into it, causing one to vomit blood. I mean, again, I would imagine breathing in ash is not good for your lungs, so... The wind burns the skin of those exposed, and the people around me suffered and suffered and suffered. In the end, their bodies would erode and become ash, and they would die and become part of this world. Objects were also no exception. All things would arrive at the same fate. I watched it all with vacant eyes, enduring the hellish agony myself, too. Before I knew it, I was the only one left alive. Before long, like my friends, I too would perish and become ash. That's what I thought, but... For some reason, only my body began to experience strange mutations. Oh, only my body. Okay, that makes more sense. My body twisted. My bones stuck out. My skin hardened and the color changed. I no longer needed food or drink. Perhaps absorbed from the dead, my body gained immense magic powers and began to grow into something enormous. Kill me! Just let me die! I can't take any more! It was a suffering that made me crave death, yet the transformation's torture didn't stop. It took several hundred years to end. Several hundreds of years, and then all that remained was this body, reduced to a grotesque form. Can you imagine suffering hundreds of years as your body was twisting in agony? That sounds god-awful. After that, learning to move around decently took another few hundred years. And then finally, I began to realize I was going to be truly and utterly alone. Even the giant ark that we rode and carried us here, even the gate to travel to and from our original world. And during that long time I was suffering, had all been buried in ash and had vanished. So, the world just, you'd be like, I kind of wish I was dead. I've been here for tens of thousands of years, suffering. I was at a loss for words at the things he had told me as he continued walking. Then, Mizer, that form... Yeah, that's right. It's probably an adaptation to the environment. Only my body changed to survive in this world of death. Maybe it's evolution. That form that spreads ruin. I survived in that grotesque form. After enduring hell for hundreds of years as his body changed, when it was finally over, his human form was traded for this one, grotesque and with the power of ruin. And after all that, for tens of thousands of years, he lived in this lonely world. Can't even imagine what kind of hell that must have been. And then, so Mystery Man came from the homeworld with him, and something else happened to him, obviously. But then Mizer wasn't able to communicate with him, you know what I mean? But the world eating away at me now was more evidence of it than anything. I had shed tears before I knew it, and Mizer wipes them away with a finger. Those are just facts of a past that long past. What's done is done. Of a past that long past. But Mizer smiles. I didn't think this world would make me suffer once again. I feel like this whole entire route is just going to make me nonstop suffer. With a beautiful, sweet smile. Even if my life had its salvation, a hand is someone who had extended a hand to me. I had taken grotesque form, but at first I wasn't discouraged. The ark and the gate, they might have remained somewhere in this world. Especially the gate. It wasn't something that could be destroyed physically. So, if I searched the world thoroughly, I might find it somewhere. I may be able to return to the human world. I simply wanted to escape this world of end times and return to my homeland. I wandered, searching this barren wasteland for tens, hundreds, thousands of years. Despite searching for so long, I couldn't find a single clue. On my journey of thousands of years in vain, a moment my heart broke, I collapsed to my knees and screamed. I tried to take my own life, but the ash would immediately shut my wounds. With even death denied to me, I gave up on everything. I was prepared to live an eternity in solitude here in the world of end times. But even in this world of nothing, there was one thing that brought a change. That was rarely, once every few decades, a wormhole would open. I mean, I say that, but most of them closed instantly and were very fragile. But once in a while, from the wormholes, from other worlds, life forms would fall. And that's right, aside from myself, this world bestows an end to visitors. Demon beasts from Beast World, fairies from the Fairy World, demons from the Demon World, angels falling from the Heavenly World, and from many other worlds. At first, I thought I wouldn't be alone anymore. I ended up feeling happy, and that joy was short-lived. Unlike me, there wasn't a single one suited to this world of end times. That's right, everyone who fell in would die. In agony, they would turn to ash. Even if I tried to help, I turned life to ash simply by touching it, so there was almost nothing I could do. You just have to watch people suffer. That sounds awful. If there was one thing, though, in regard to the countless lives that vanished with the passing of time, I could attend to them and listen. Help me. I don't want to die. I want to see my family. I want to go home. Why won't you help me? Repeatedly listening to such lamentations, I could only watch those countless lives die. I learned about the other worlds as I cared for them, and the powers I stole from the dead afforded me the ability to wield magic. It's ironic, and that really is all I can say. After they passed and became ash, I would make a grave, mostly for myself. All I did was watch my visitors die. For thousands, tens of thousands of years. tens and hundreds of thousands of people. After becoming the Ashen Gravekeeper, that's what my life was. The life of Mizer X. After starting that, I wonder how much time passed. One day suddenly, at the edge of the graveyard, a fist-sized fissure of a wormhole opened. It was really small, but it was my first time encountering a wormhole that didn't vanish in moments. At the time, due to tens of thousands of years of despair and solitude, I lost the ability to think properly. I was taken in by the light leaking from it. Unconsciously, I was peeking inside. I was wondering. I was like, There I found my salvation. There was a young human girl there. The girl could see me through the fissure and looked up with curiosity.
Who are you? Oh, are you a friend of Grandpa?
She gave me a pure smile. An innocent face, not knowing a single trace of sorrow and despair of the world. Yet. This fucking game's gonna teach me sorrow and despair. I felt hateful. While I spent an eternity in this world, my heart eroding and tending to the dead, this girl, just thinking about her living so carefree, revived the negativity that had died in me. I'll kill her. As if to vent my anger, I eagerly reached my distorted hand to the fissure. When I did, just before the girl ran out of my field of view. Well, that's only natural. With such a monster before her eyes, of course she would run away. More than failing to kill her, my heart was wounded upon realizing that reality again. However, I was wrong.
Here! You can have this coffee!
What? And the girl came back with a cup in her hand, saying this with a smile. Inside was something black. At the time, I didn't even know the name of that beverage, but it was steaming.
Your voice was really dry, so you must be thirsty, right? I did my best to make this.
And that's right. And the girl, upon hearing my groans, while still a child, she was concerned about my lack of vitality, and took the trouble to bring a drink, to make coffee for me.
Oh, it's a secret from Grandpa. Grandpa said I'm not supposed to use hot water while he's gone. Also, if it isn't good, I'm sorry.
How can I put it? This child talking to me like it was normal left me completely dumbfounded. Before I realized it, I had accepted it with a trembling hand and brought it to my warped mouth. That one cup of coffee, hundreds or thousands, now, after how many tens of thousands of years, this warmth given to me from a living being. I couldn't stop my tears. Right at that moment, it wouldn't have been strange if the cup and girl turned to ash and vanished. Why were the girl and cup safe? Even now I still don't know the reason, but that miracle, it made me happy. When my tears fell and soaked into the ashen land, and the heartless wormhole began to close, started to lose sight of the girl. I didn't know if it would reach her, but just before it closed, I called out to the girl. Thank you. I have nothing right now, but one day certainly I will thank you once again for this drink. I'll go there to tell you myself. Definitely, no matter what. That was us, obviously. No longer able to walk by my own strength, I bury my face in Mizer's chest as he supports me. It's why I worked so hard. I stood up for my despair. When I felt discouraged, that cup of coffee I guarded dearly would give my heart support. I walked and walked and walked. Buried deep in the ground, I finally found the ship's remains and the gate. I endured the pain of reforming my body once again. I frantically learned these techniques to suppress my power. And to fulfill the promise I made with that girl. Do you understand now? I love you so much, you beautiful bastard! And the reason why I like coffee. The reason for my favorite coffee. Back then, what gave warmth to Mizer Rex and saved my soul? It was you, Spacey. Me? Yeah, we've already met before I ever stepped foot in Enchante. Although, unfortunately, by the time I was able to visit Enchante, you'd already left the shop. There were occasions I thought about going to see you at home, but each time I reconsidered and stopped. This is like so heartbreaking! It's never gonna be the right ending for me. Unless he gets to magically become human, that's not the way they're gonna do it. They're gonna rip my fucking heart out. Fuck you, game. You could have given me, like, the bullshit happy ending I wanted. If I was to meet you, it should be there, where we met, at Enchante. I see. That's why it was fate. See, it was fate. It's gonna rip my heart out. Goddamn fucking game. I hate you, game, because you're not gonna give me the beautiful happy ending I want with him. You're gonna give me some bittersweet bullshit. So help me God, if you fucking pull a Toa on me, I'm gonna fucking chuck this game. If you have the time, I'd like to talk with you some more, but not necessarily about the cafe. I want to know more about you, and I'd like you to get to know a little more about me. Oh, get to know me a little better too, wow. And why would you want to do that? Because this meeting was destiny, of course. I'm just kidding. You know, like you said back then? To be perfectly honest, I was in pretty high spirits back then just from seeing you again. But yeah, that's right. If it's fate, I'd be happy. I love you so much. This game is gonna... I hate this game so much right now. Cause it's like so great, but you know it's gonna rip it away. You're like, we're having a touching moment and it's gonna rip it away from me. You are gonna rip my happy away, game. So let's go back together. Back to the warm cafe that spun those threads of fate. Yeah. When we go back again, I'll make coffee for you. Yeah, I look forward to it. I'll save you so we can do that. And this time I'll be the one to save you. I'll be the one. Mizer Rex 4. Born in the era of Genesis, after drifting to the world of end times on an ark, this former human transformed into an abnormal form to suit the environment. He was in despair at his eternal solitude, but was saved by meeting the heroine as a child. I'll be the one to save you. Ugh. The game is gonna ruin this. It's not gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be heartbreaking. Mizer continues crying out to me like this for hours and hours. He walks and runs without a single break. How are we not dead yet? Oh, there it is. We're here. We're here. Spacey, we're going to be okay. I'll open it now. If we get Rindo ill and everyone to treat you right away, you can make it. Mizer continues to hold me up with one arm. He approaches the gate leading to the human world. This is where bitch face is going to show up, isn't it? Yeah, I was going to say, there's no way. So like, just let me save her. Fuck you. I won't let you go. After fleeing for so long, after walking so far, there wasn't even a trace of him until now. Yeah, because he's just been, like, puddling around. He is literally probably made of ash. Look at his, like, wingy thingies or whatever the fuck is poking out. It's totally ash. Yet the young man appears like it's natural in front of the gate, blocking the way. At the same moment of surprise, Mizer makes a space between us and him. That's impossible. Where did you come from? I was next to you the whole time. You were holding on to her and talking about your past. I was by your side listening to it all. Okay, yeah, he is literally like, just... Okay. What's that supposed to mean? Hey, Mizer Rex. You... The incident that gave you the chance to ride an ark. The incident way back then? No. The catastrophe. Do you remember its name? I see. So you don't remember. Well, that nearly eternal suffering wore away your heart and your memories. Makes sense. In that case, I'll tell you. We don't have time for this! We're gonna die! The name of that catastrophe. By them. By you. The name given to me. The name of this world is... Really? Serious? Oh, Noah. Wait, he's Noah? I shouldn't be surprised. Ark, no. Okay. That's my name. So wait. Okay, hold on a second. The incident way back then, the catastrophe, do you remember its name? What? Showing up here? You know what I mean? What catastrophe is he talking about? But anyway, when he goes in here, the name of that catastrophe, by them, by you, the name given to me, the name of this world. So he's the world? And a catastrophe? I mean, he kind of seems like a fucking catastrophe. He's a walker. Like, okay. So that catastrophe, me, this world, all the same thing? Is that what we're... Okay. You, this world? Noah? Noah, get the boat! Like, Mizer reacts like he doesn't understand, but the young man, Noah, ignores this. Now I answered your question. Isn't that enough? Spacey, give her to me. As if he was coaxing, he holds out both hands, using Mizer to hand my body over. Or urging, sorry, I'm like, what? Not just once, but multiple times. She saved you. Haven't you had your fill already? This time, can't you just give her to me? Mizer glares at Noah, and in the space between us and him, a light bursts like a flash grenade. Using that chance, Mizer runs full speed toward the gate. Still holding on to me, he reaches his hand toward the doorknob. Nope. The flash doesn't work on Noah, and his arm is seized by him. That moment... The strength leaves Mizer's body in moments. He had never given up until now, but this brought his knees down to the ash. I fall from his arms on the impact. I won't let you go again, Spacey. After I fell to the ground, Noah picked me up. He distances himself from Mizer, but I'm gonna die here! He knows that, right? With no energy to resist, I'm simply carried away. However, perhaps thinking of something, Noah stops. Hey, stop it! Spacey, wait here for a little bit. Hey! No! Stop that! Saying this, Noah gently puts me down. Then... he approaches Mizer, who's on his knees and is trying to stand back up. I get a bad feeling. Yeah, right? It's more like a hunch, maybe? But unable to speak, all I can do is watch this unfold in my waning field of vision. Crawls toward the door. Doesn't make it. Send her back to her own world. If you don't, this world is going to kill her. How sad. You still don't understand what kind of being I am. I have no intention of doing such a terrible thing to her. Mizer's like, huh? Don't say you're... Mizer Rex, that's enough. You won't hoard her for yourself anymore. You no longer have that strange form or that power of ruin. You're a powerless and worthless being. Hey, if he's powerless and worthless, this means he can go back to the human world and we're fine, right? So we could get her happy ending. I feel like the game's gonna bitch slap me, but I'm like waiting, like, could we? Maybe? And then it'll be okay? You should find yourself a little happiness in the human world. That's my parting gift to you. Noah, with the same face, gently places his hand on Mizer's shoulder. With a kind smile, he thrusts his hand into Mizer's chest. Did we choose the wrong thing? Because this doesn't feel like a good ending. I mean, we're still 2 chapters away, but... A large pool of blood stains the land from ash to a reddish black. Groaning in shock in Mizer's chest, Noah's palm, but still inside of it. He's a sick motherfucker. Bye-bye, Mizer. Inside his body, something makes a crushing sound. Mizer's body convulses violently once, then... Noah removes his hand, dripping in red. A spray of blood rained down on the spot, and he collapses. With not so much as a finger twitching, The only thing moving is the blood flowing outside of him. There's no sign of his wound closing. My voice goes hoarse at the horror. I gather all my strength to reach my hand toward him. Thank you for everything. But now I have Spacey. I don't need you anymore. Noah grabs the collapsed body of Mizer with one hand and throws him into the gate. But I didn't even have the strength to cry, but I call to him desperately as his figure leaves my view. I don't like this. Noah seems so deeply happy and picks me up once again. With this, it's just the two of us. That's right, just us two. We won't have any more intruders. So, now this time, you'll save me, right? Spacey, my dearly, dearly beloved. How many fucking men are in love with me in this route? And all I want is Mizer, and you just check him, but game is like, Asmodeus, this bitch, like, what the fuck? I just want a happy ending with my not exactly Demon King. But no, fuck you, I guess. I just don't like this. Spacey no likey this shit. Are we okay? I was like, are we in chapter 5? I don't like this at all. I don't like this. Oh my god. Okay. I have a few more minutes, but I'm thinking we're Mizer because it's purple, but remaining in my ears? I think it's supposed to be ringing. Remaining in my ears? Oh no, that's okay, we're still me. Okay. I thought because it was purple, but anyway. Oh no. No. This is Mizer, okay. And the sound of ash blowing in the wind for thousands upon thousands of years. And someone desperately calling my name, only to be silenced. The voice of someone I cherish. Ugh. How is he alive? The first thing that leapt out at me was a ceiling of a familiar hue. This place. Enchante's empty room? Why am I in a place like this? I can't remember. My mind is a hazy fog. What was I doing? Up until now, where? The question repeats several times. Gah! An intense pain pierces my chest. It resurrects my memories in an instant. Bye-bye, Mizer. I recall the memories pouring out from my mind aren't from a dream. I sit up immediately. That's right. I was in the world of end times. Spacey! I called to her despite the pain in my throat, but I received no answer to my cry. No way. Did I leave her behind in that world? Today, what's the date? What time is it? How many hours have passed since she was taken into that world? And no, that's wrong. If I have time to think about things like that, I'll go to the gate now. I need to go and look for her. My body was in anguish, but I spurred myself on and managed to get out of bed without falling to the ground. After rushing out of the room, I staggered down the stairs. How's no one there? I nearly slipped several times, but I finally make it down to the shop. Unlike the usual scene, the owner... This is a lonely space without her. Standing in front of my objective, the room with the gate. Hey. Rindo. 2 whole days. You didn't so much as lift a finger. Even I was panicking. 2 days. For 2 whole days, I'm pretty sure I'm fucking dead. This isn't good. I left her in that world? Both despairing and impatient, I continue to walk forward. Where do you think you're going? The answer was clearly written on the panic on my face. Blocking my apathy approaches me and speaks with a tender voice. Calm down. If you don't mind that it's me making it, I'll brew you some coffee. We should share the information we have. I'm in no mood for Rindo's interrogations. Feels like I'm in a feverish delusion, and I only have one thing on my mind. Spacey. Spacey. I need to go save her! I brush Rindo aside and head towards the gate, but he grabs my arm with ease with one hand. I won't say I don't get the panic. I know you're more worried about her than anything. But at the very least, for this moment, there isn't anything you can do, Mizer. Let me go! Don't get it my way. I try to shake off Rindo's hand as I scream my emotion, but my arm can't budge a thing. A strange sensation. I recall, even compared to Canis and everyone, I have more strength than this. Rindo is an ordinary human, yet he's easily restraining me. I shouldn't be this weak. After all, whatever I am, I'm a non-human. You were always so easygoing, but now you're so shaken up. And for now, just take it easy. Calm down and understand the situation. Rindo releases my arm as he gives his advice. He urges me to look, and there, looking down my own body... Normal human? And the first thing to enter my view is my fingertips, and they were round and lost their edge. And the robe and clothing that usually adorns me, they disappeared. He's basically going to be the Mizer we kind of saw, but without the horns. Like when he was like, this is my human form, but he had the well, his hair was spirally. He had the spirally horn hair. It's basically going to be it, probably. Unless he's slightly different, but that's what I'm imagining in my head, is like when he's like, hey, look at me, I'm being normsies. And you're like, but your hair still you have horn hair. Like, you know what I mean? But he was undeniably Mizer. I'm wondering if it's going to be that or if they're going to have slightly changed his hair. I don't know. Huh? I can't wait to see. Oh, look, he's so normie. He doesn't have the horn hair. I nervously touch around my ears, feel no indicator of my horns. Then I think I'm aware of my body. This would be the perfect ending if it gets to stay this way, but it's not gonna because the game hates us. Oh god, it fucking hates us. I need to turn my light, hold on. Show me his cutiness. Oh, he's so sad with his giant fucking eyes. Oh. What? No longer did I hold the form of the Demon King of Cafe Enchante. All that's left of this form of a frail, weak human. What is this form? Although not so unusual to see, as I utilize magic to imitate a human, much like the one I am now. But during the time I was unconscious, I couldn't have been able to do such a thing. I have a bad feeling. Right away, I tried to gather magic power into my palm, and it didn't matter what kind. Just activate any sort of magic. And there's no sign of magic or even magic power collecting. Why? Do you get it? While you were sleeping, I had Asmodeus check too. Right now, your body has lost all its magic power, that form included. Right now, you're a genuine, ordinary, run-of-the-mill normal human. This would be perfect if we were here. You're a normal human and so am I! Yay! It's not going to stay this way, though. The game is literally going to fucking stab us in the face, because right now you're like, he's a normal human, and then once I get saved, because like, hi, I can't die on the happy ending, but I'm probably, like, I mean, this game. Human? Me? After all this time? After living tens of thousands of years in that grotesque form? Yeah, but now I'm stuck in that world, and you're like, well, fuck. Mizer Rex, that's enough. You won't hoard her for yourself anymore. You no longer have that strange form or that power of ruin. You're a powerless and worthless being. You should find yourself a little happiness in the human world. And that's my parting gift to you. Bye-bye, Mizer. Like, fuck, Noah, but, like, give me back so we can be happy. A chill shoots through my body, and I immediately place my hand on my chest, but I still feel a pulse. I realize then that this hasn't killed me. The feeling of all power being stolen? From what I heard, I was covered in blood and completely naked. I was collapsed like I was dead in front of the gate. My horns, claws, robe, everything. It was all made from magic power. It was part of my non-human form. If it's gone, that's all the evidence I need to know that now I'm completely powerless. It's true, I wanted to return to my humanity. Just a short time ago, the thought of being able to spend more time with Spacey would have brought me to tears. It's gonna bring you to tears, but in the wrong way. However, why, now of all times, would I become a powerless human? Now, at this time, losing the power I had is simply misery and nothing else. Mizer X, 5. The young man called Noah took all of Mizer's power, abnormal form, and magic, which brought Mizer back to his normal human form that he lost tens of thousands of years ago. This part's going over, but whatever. We can't stop in the middle of this. I stagger as I head toward the gate, and this time Rindo doesn't stop me. It's not gonna work. Yeah, that's right. Having power or not doesn't matter. As soon as possible, I need to go save Spacey. I promised, after all. I said this time I'd save her. We were so close. I go speechless, and before my eyes, the gate that should be closed clatters and shakes, and leaking from the slight gap from another world, and the wind of ruin. The room exposed to that breath is filled with gray smoke. As I stand there confounded, Rindo, eyes cast down, mutters behind me. And this isn't just here at this gate. Right now, all wormholes and fissures, not just in the human world, but in all other worlds. And that world you were in is forcing a connection to all of them. A sad world that ushers in death by simply existing within it. And no longer non-human, having become a human. If I set foot inside and the result of that, I know better than anyone what would happen. However, still, I need to go. Even if I die, I want to save her. I need to save her. I love poor normal human Mizer. He's so pathetic. It's just like, I don't care if I die, I'm gonna go. Oh, sweetie. Oh, you poor thing. Oh. You know, because he's like, I feel useless now. I used to have power and be cool, and now I'm like, I'm just gonna like breathe and choke to death on this air. I know, you poor thing. Oh, poor baby. I'm going to save her. Repeating this in my head, my hand reaches toward the gate. From behind, Rindo restrains my body and drags me back to the shop. And then... Get it together! He slams me against a wall and punches me clean across my face. Why? Why won't you say anything? What can you do now, huh? You who's weaker than me! Me! You really think you can save her? Rindo takes a big breath, and then tightly clenching his fist. Believe in us! If you go to that world now, your death will be in vain. All we gain is the loss of one of our own. It wouldn't be just her. After everything, do you really want us to lose a friend too? He's like, think about us too, man. Oh, Rindo. Rindo. This unusual anger of his shakes my mind violently. I look to the gate. If I'm being honest, I just want to jump in this very second. I don't care if I die. I need to save her. That's all there is. But right now, if I died now, it wouldn't help her at all. His yelling reminded me of that reality, and it allows me to find my composure after I lost sight of what I need to see. I rub my stinging cheek, take a deep breath, and let out a laugh, sudden and awkward. Wasn't that punch a little too much? I only just healed up, you know. Isn't that kind of juice you need to rekindle a troubled demon king? Isn't that the kind of juice you need to rekindle a troubled demon king? Rindo's arm, gripped to my collar, begins to relax its strength. And then we start talking about what happened, including the time I was absent. Okay, this is perfectly... Okay, so we're gonna stop here. I had to just finish that! I know it was, like, over, but we had to finish that little moment, okay? Now we Rindo. Like, so anyway. I don't like this. I don't like this. I mean, okay, I kind of like that now, like, Mizer's finally in his route, and we're doing all this, but I just do not like how this is heading. Because, like, I just... Sure, Mizer is, like, you know, a human now, and that's really awesome, and you think we're gonna get our happy ending. We're like, hey, you come back, I'm a human, you're a human, and this is awesome, and it should be the perfect fucking happy goddamn lollipop and rainbows ending, but it's not gonna be that way, because we've been in that fucking world of Ash, slowly dying for day. I just don't see this going well. I'm concerned. And Noah's kind of fucked in the head, and if he's, like, controlling the world, or is the world and is the catastrophe? I don't know, but he's, like, dangerous. And not in a good way. Not like Solitus was dangerous, but kind of in a sexy way, and Venia was kind of dangerous, and then I'm gonna throw you into a fucking tree that's gonna eat you, but, like, just to save Titania, and it's not like I want you dead or anything, which is a little shady way. Like, that's cool, I'm fine, I get it, boys. But, like, this, nah, bitch, what? And I don't see it ending well, because I just feel like the way these endings have kind of gone, you were like, okay, oh, okay. I mean, like, Candace's was kind of fine. Happy, but eh. And then Ignis's wasn't bad. But then Rinda's just kind of left me feeling a little like, oh, this is the happy ending? Really? I just don't have good feelings about this. Okay, so anyway, but we're going to keep going and we'll see what happens. So I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.